everybody, thanks for tuning into the Story Arcz. I'm Vinx.
I'm Max Prime.
So today we're going to be talking about Captain Marvel Rogue and the announcement by Mikey Sutton on the introduction of the X-Men in the first movie of the MCU Phase 5.
We are so excited to hear about Rogue, Captain Marvel 2, Rogue potentially being Captain Marvel's nemesis, and there's such an enriched history between the two characters, and we're just so excited to possibly see what could potentially happen when these two powerhouses get on the big screen in front of us. So I'm so excited to see what's going to happen.
So what we've heard so far through Kevin Feige's interviews speaking about the acquiring of the X-Men into the MCU is that he completely wants to avoid everything that we've already seen about the X-Men through X-Men First Class and the first round of X-Men movies. One of the main plot points that he decided to touch on that he is not going to include is the inclusion of Magneto, as well as other top X-Men that we've seen so far. Now, that causes a problem moving into the Rogue introduction because Rogue is actually a part of something called the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Now, the Brotherhood is actually run by Magneto. So as we're coming into this movie, are we going to see someone else take over, such as the rumored Mr. Sinister, or is it going to be more focused on the relationship between Mystique and Rogue as mother and daughter?
And that's where we want to talk about the past between Rogue and Captain Marvel, because when these two get on the screen, we're wondering, will it actually follow what happened in Marvel Comics? Now, everybody knows that the reason why Rogue has her superhuman abilities, everybody knows that Rogue can fly, she has the strength of Superman, is because she took the powers from Captain Marvel. She drained Carol of her powers and almost took half of her personality, almost all of it, all her memories, etc. So we're kind of wondering, will it actually follow the comics? Because not only does she take Carol's power, she also takes Carol's memories, and that actually kind of follows into the thought, will Captain Marvel 2 be almost just like Captain Marvel 1? And will, again, they go along with that route, or will they just have Rogue take some of her powers and leave Carol with her memories?
One of the biggest issues that people tend to have with the Captain Marvel franchise is with Brie Larson. And one of the top things that they tend to say is that she is too egocentric and too detached as a character. Now, the reason why people might be saying that is because when Captain Marvel was filmed, they had not yet acquired the rights for the X-Men. So they did not include the wiping of the memories, which actually came from Rogue when she stole her powers. So what they did instead is that they made the wiping of the memories come from her involvement with the Kree. As we move into Captain Marvel 2, are they going to repeat the same storyline where her memories get wiped out, or are they going to create something different just involving her powers? That actually makes it so that the problem wasn't necessarily Brie Larson, it actually just is Carol Danvers herself.
One thing I'm curious about with the Captain Marvel movie was the casting of Rogue. I'm wondering who is going to actually play Rogue in Captain Marvel 2. Will they actually go with Anna Paquin from the old X-Men movies? I know that she'd be a little bit kind of older now, for that role. Which also leads me into the age part. Will it be an adult Rogue? Because again, I'm used to seeing Rogue as an adult flying around with the gray streak in her hair, or will they actually have a child play Rogue in Captain Marvel 2? So very curious where they're going to go, which way, because I know some fans might lean towards what they are used to seeing in the X-Men cartoons and in the comics, and then other fans might lean towards the other direction. So I'm really wanting to know which one possibly it could be.
One of the other things that we know from Kevin Feige is he does not want to put all the focus on the X-Men right now. He feels that they've been overdone in the last couple of years, and he actually wants to put all his weight behind the Fantastic Four. So what we can expect moving forward in Phase 5 is the slow introduction of the X-Men one by one in the movies we already know of. For example, the rumor about Storm being in Black Panther 2.
What are your final thoughts on Captain Marvel 2, the potential of Rogue being in Captain Marvel, the X-Men franchise making its way into the MCU? What are our final thoughts? What are your final thoughts, Binks?
Well, actually, until the Eternal comes out, we're not really going to know how the X-Men came to be. And now the rumor is that Thanos' snap actually activated the X gene. And this is something that we've heard throughout the rumors of the Eternals, and the more it's being spoiled out in the media. So we have to wait a couple more months before we figure out exactly how the X-Men came to be, how Rogue got her powers, and how the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants even came out.
my final thoughts, I hope Rogue takes Captain Marvel's powers completely, just like in the comics, because I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Even when they had Captain Marvel 1 announced for the cinematic universe, like, everybody's been kind of rooting for Rogue. There's like memes out there about Rogue taking her powers, because like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. Finally, Rogue can fly. I used to watch the X-Men movies, you know, all the Fox X-Men movies, and I liked some, I hated some, but I always wanted Rogue to fly. Like, please give me a flying Rogue who has a southern accent and who could like punch, like, you know, a villain into outer space, because she was that powerful. That's what I wanted so much. My final thoughts are like, I really am looking forward to this, and I'm just hoping that it just works out completely and they do not ruin Rogue's introduction to the MCU.
Alright guys, sound off in the comments down below. Let us know what your thoughts are on the new announcement made by Mikey Sutton about Captain Marvel, including Rogue, and the first initiation of the X-Men into the MCU. We're so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video.